Hey everyone, it's your girl Jossie, aka J Renee, back at it again with another video. So today we're gonna be making dresses from oversized t-shirts. Yes. So before we get into the video, I want you to hit that subscribe button and turn on my post notifications so you don't miss a video. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so you don't want to miss it. So like this video, give this video a thumbs up, and you just made my day. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So this shirt is from my dad. Shout out to my dad for giving me most of the clothes that I have in these videos. Happy early Father's Day. Shout out to him. Yay. So first we're going to take a dress that we already have. This dress is also on my Depop. We're going to lay the shirt out and then lay the dress on top and mark around the dress where we are going to cut. So just mark all the way around the dress. You can't see it here, but I can see it. So don't even worry about it. So then we're going to take our handy dandy scissors and cut out that first side. I did not trace the other side because all we're going to do is fold it over and cut out the other side so it can be exactly symmetrical, just like that. Yeah, this pattern is hard to see what I'm doing, but I'm literally just cutting out the same thing on both sides. So yeah, you get the point. Then move all that other stuff out the way. Open up the dress and the back. So I'm just going to cut off the stuff in the back. I wanted it to be more straight in the back, and it's the same thing. So we're going to turn the two pieces on the right side. So we have right side to right side. We're going to match up those ends and then pin them all together just like you would anything else. Pin along all the way down, and then boom, now we have them both sides pinned. That's where we're going to sew. Taking a overlock stitch or whatever stitch this is, if you can see on my sewing machine, the one that's highlighted, that's the stitch I'm using. I don't know what to call it, but it works for the raw edges sometimes. That's what it looks like. And so now we're going to take the side of the shirt. We didn't use the whole shirt, so this is the side part that we cut off. We're going to cut off half of it from that side seam. And we're going to get as much as we can from this. So we're cutting off both of those side seams on both sides of the shirt. And we're going to cut off the sleeves. So just watch and see which parts I cut. As you can see here, I am also cutting the sleeves for this part. This is going to be for the ruffles at the top of the dress, as you saw in the thumbnail. So I need as much fabric as I can get from this one shirt, and hopefully it's going to be enough. So cut out all that you can, the sleeves and the side seams, but leave part of the side seam, so you'll see in the end. And so now that we have all four pieces, we're going to cut them to make them even on all the sides. Just cut them all out and make an even width piece of fabric. Put them on top of each other to make sure they all have the same width, just like you see here. And while you're watching me cut, take this time and subscribe, please and thank you. I would love it. I also took out some of the side seams that I wanted it to be longer. Now that we have them all cut out, we're going to put them facing side to facing side, making sure all the ends are like even and all that, and then pin them together just twice at the top, like you see here, and do that to both of them. Before you go sew that, we're going to put the other two together as well and make sure just to make sure that it's one long, even piece of fabric when we sew them together. So then we're just going to sew down where we have pinned with a regular straight stitch and top stitch that, just like that. Some of the pieces may be not the same width, so we're just going to cut that off. And now we're going to fold down one of the edges and then sew that down just to make a hem. That's what we're doing. We're just going to do a single rolled hem and sew it down just as you see here. And that's what it looks like on both sides. See, nice and neat. I folded over the ends as well. And so now we're gonna take to the sewing machine and do a basting stitch over the other edge. And so I moved a little too fast for this, but do a basting stitch and don't back stitch. So make sure your stitch length is very high, at like 5 at probably the top you can do. And then when you do that, you want to pull either the top string or the bottom string to make it ruffle. Just like you see there, I was pulling the strings to make it ruffle and even on each side. And when you've done that, make sure measure it around the top of the dress. That's what we're doing here, and then pin it down at the top of the dress. And so this is what it looks like when you have it all pinned down, all the ruffles pinned down at the top of the dress. And make sure each of the ends match up. And then now we're going to sew that down. We're going to use a zigzag stitch for that. I made the stitch smaller just because I didn't want all the ruffles to move out of place. You might want to use a straight stitch. I've seen people use a straight stitch for this, but I think I just wanted to use a zigzag stitch because I felt cute. And so that's what it looks like after it is all said and done. After you finish the ruffles. That went kind of quick, sorry. But yeah, and then cut off all the excess at the top because we don't need it. And yeah, cut off all the excess and stuff and make sure everything looks good. If you have to go back and sew it around, go ahead. And that's what it looks like. So next, for the last part, we're gonna take this long piece from one of the sides of the shirts that we didn't cut. We're gonna cut that out now, and the piece is gonna be really long. I'm not sure how long this was. It's over 18 inches, about 20 inches. What you want to do here is fold down the top edge and then fold inward the two side edges together to make a strap, and then sew along a straight line. And so once you do that, it's going to be long, and that was about 13 inches for each of them. I cut that in half to make two straps, and then pinning the straps onto the dress. So I just pinned them. You can try it on and see where you want to pin them, but I just pin them to the front, like at a considerable width to each other, and the back straight, in the back, this straight back. Just watch. You can see it better than I'm telling you, so you just want to watch. And then I'm gonna sew a square onto the straps just like that without catching the ruffles. So yeah, just like that. As you can see, that looks cool. My square is kind of off, but that's all right. And cut off all those pesky threads, and after that we are done. This one is so cute. I love this so much. I really do. I always tend to do the cutest stuff in the wrong color, but I love this. It was a great use of a shirt, an oversized shirt, and I love it so much. On to the next. So this time we're gonna use this black shirt that I actually got from the dollar store. It was 5XL, and we're gonna use this dress that I have. Yeah, use another dress that you have, and it's the same process. Just trace out the dress however you feel is right and cut it out. And for this shirt, it wasn't as stretchy as the other shirt was, so I'm cutting a little bit of seam allowance. I should have cut more because it was kind of tight, but I'm just gonna work with what I got. And here I'm just cutting the neckline, folding it over just like we did the first one, and making sure the neckline is on point with each other, looking the same. Mine didn't end up looking the same and I had to cut it more, but it's okay. Just again turning it over to face right side to right side, and then we're gonna pin the sides together under the armholes and the top two shoulder seams where the straps are. It's gonna be like a tank top dress. Well, you've seen in the thumbnail. So just pin all that down, and then we're gonna make a straight stitch and top stitch those two as well. Take it to the sewing machine and take your time and make a straight stitch all the way down to the end and top stitch. I'm folding it over. The front side was longer than the back side, that's why there's like an overlap, but yeah, turn it over and do a top stitch. Even though top stitch is supposed to be on the top, it's okay. And this is me doing the shoulder seams as well. So here I'm just cutting the neckline deeper, because of course I tried it on. Once I did this, I tried it on and the neckline was too high and I didn't like that. So I'm just gonna flip the dress inside out so we can do the hemming on the wrong side. So now we're just gonna hem it. Make sure your dress is inside out and fold down the edge, the raw edges twice. We're gonna make a double rolled hem and pin them all down together. So you have to go around your armhole and your neck hole, both armholes and your neck holes. Fold, double roll, and pin. And so just take that to the sewing machine again and make a straight stitch all the way around all of the neck holes and shoulder holes. This one is pretty simple. This is like the easiest way to make a dress, I think. And so that's how it should look. That kind of looks kind of professional, even though the straps aren't the same width, and that's okay. And so here we're going to take this elastic. I got this elastic from Etsy, but you can get it from anywhere. I'll have a link down below where you can get all this stuff from. Feet of it, that part, trying to take it apart was a mess, so I just skipped over that. It was a lot. And so I'm just measuring where I want the elastic to stretch to. So I'm just stretching the elastic down to see if it can go all the way down to the bottom of the skirt. And then when I pull it back up, that's how I know where the elastic is gonna stop. That's not the best, probably not the best way to do it. I don't know, but that might look short, but it's not gonna be as short as you think it is, because the pull from the shirt is not the same thing. So I'm taking my ruler and making a straight line down to mark where I want the elastic so they don't like stray away and start going all wild. And so here I am using a zigzag stitch from the bottom of the dress and sewing it down, pulling while I sew so that the dress can ruche correctly and pull evenly. Making sure I'm staying on that line. Perfect, just like that. Getting close to the bottom, so I'm gonna pin that down and make sure that there's nothing underneath of the dress and making sure everything is pulled correctly. And usually you want to use a color that is the same color as your dress, but for reasons, we're gonna use this color. And so cut off all of your pesky threads because we don't want those in there. And that's how the dress should look. And that's pretty much it. That was the easiest dress that I've ever made. And this is how it looked. Oh, this is cute. This is cute. Look at this little black dress. Oh my gosh. Tyra Banks ain't got nothing on me. Model type. Thank y'all for watching. I will see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Goodbye.